this is Tanya Stansel with Health Education Services, and I'm bringing this video to share my personal story and experience with uterine fibroids. So my story with fibroids actually started about 10 years before I found out that I had fibroids. My daughter was born the end of 2001, and prior to having my daughter, I had very regular periods. They were just about exactly every 28 days. They lasted about 4 days each, medium to light flow, and I rarely had cramping, but if I did, they were very mild and lasted less than a day. And I didn't even have to take like ibuprofen or acetaminophen or anything for them because they were so mild. So after my daughter was born, shortly after she was born, I had a Mirena IUD placed. And with that, I didn't have any periods whatsoever. And they last about 5 years. So went through the first one, 5 years, had it replaced. Again, no periods. And fast forward up to about mid-April 2011, so springtime of 2011. And literally one day, life is normal, going on about my business. The next day, it was like the floodgates opened up, and I had an incredible amount of bleeding. I was going through pads every hour. I was wearing 2 and 3 pads at a time and still having to change them like every hour because there was so much blood. I With that, I also was passing a lot of blood clots, which was extremely painful because they not only were blood clots, but they were large blood clots. And also, I was having excruciating cramping. So I had the pain from the passing the blood clots, but I also had these excruciating cramps as well. And this was like day in and day out. It never let up, the bleeding or the cramping. I tried ibuprofen, I tried acetaminophen. They didn't help. And I was having so much pain that I was bent over. I couldn't even stand up. So I was walking around hunched over because I couldn't even stand up to walk straight. And so because of all the bleeding, I was also becoming anemic, and because of the pain, I wasn't able to eat a lot, so I was losing weight as well. One thing that was fortunate for me is that my mother had previously had fibroids, and she had told my sisters and I, at the time that she was having that she had her fibroids, she told us that she had fibroids and that sort of thing. So as this was happening to me, I did have something to base, like, hey, I think what's going on with me is fibroids like what my mom had, because I knew that fibroids could be hereditary or follow in families and that sort of thing. And so I went to the doctor, and she sent me to get an ultrasound done, which confirmed that they were fibroids. So my doctor gave me some medications to help with the bleeding, and also some iron because, like I said, I was anemic at that point. And so I went from April until August 31st, which was the first available day that she had to be able to do surgery. And that was the longest several months. It was very difficult, just because the pain and bleeding it was a lot. Once I had the surgery done, it was an outpatient procedure, and so I was able to go home the same day. So I have not had any symptoms of fibroids since then, and that was August 31st, 2011. Um, and I feel fortunate because first I was, my mother had shared hers, what she was going through with my sisters and I. And so as I started going through what I was going through, I did have some understanding of what was going on with me. So I've always feel fortunate about that. Also, my mother having had dealt with fibroids as well as I was going through it, my mother was also able to serve as a support for me in what I was dealing with because she herself had the understanding of um, what that's like. One of the reasons why I wanted to share my story is because just as women, we don't share stories about fibroids, endometriosis, depression, or other things that we may be going through with each other. And so, unfortunately, there are a lot of times when women are going through situations or suffering with certain issues and they don't talk about it and they feel like they're by themselves, that nobody understands. They're the only person going through what they're going through. Um, so I wanted to share my story because there may be someone out there that's dealing with fibroids and um, or some other issue and feeling that way, that they're by themselves and don't have anyone to speak with and don't have a support system for themselves. So what I want to encourage women to do is to, as you feel comfortable, share your stories of whether it's fibroids, endometriosis, depression, or any other issue that you may be having. Share your stories with other women. I also want other women to not feel like they have to go through something by themselves. Please seek out support for any issue that you're going through. If you have gotten something from me sharing my story, please leave me a comment below. Please, if you know someone who may be dealing with fibroids, please share this video with them. And if you feel comfortable sharing your story with fibroids or another issue, please share that with someone else as well. Subscribe below and please visit our blog, healthylivingforyourself.blogspot.com.